In that 6 months, I've lost almost 50 pounds. It has been an amazing transformation. Everyone I see now is wondering what I've done. They just can't believe it's me. I can't believe it's me.
TopFitPros.com.
Do you even know what your metabolic rate is? Most people don't. You can guess. A lot of people who have weight problems think that they have slow metabolic rates, and people without weight problems think they have fast metabolic rates. And that's fair. Genetically speaking, we have a range that we're kind of born into, and it relates to our age as well as our genes. Well, what does it mean? What is a metabolic rate? The metabolic rate is the sum total of the chemical reactions in the body during any given day and how that relates to calories burned, energy expended. And the reality is that any given person has a tremendous amount of control over the metabolic rate in any given day. And how is that possible? It's possible simply because how we behave, how much activity we get, how intense the activity is, as well as how we eat, what kinds of foods we eat, when we eat, how often we eat, how we mix the foods when we do eat. Those all impact our metabolic rates. So in other words, if we're eating the right kinds of foods and we're doing the right kinds of activities, we're going to have a much faster metabolic rate. We're going to burn a whole lot more calories in any given day than if we're eating the wrong kinds of foods, we're eating them at the wrong times, and we're staying very sedentary. So the reality is very much that we have control over our metabolic rates within limits. So if you are older, you're more likely to have a slower metabolic rate because hormones change, especially in women, but also in men. Hormones change as we go from youth into adulthood and on into older age. When we go past 40, especially in women, hormones change a lot with the changes in the menstrual cycle, beginning to go towards menopause. Those changes reduce the metabolic rate. So you have a predisposition towards a slower metabolic rate as you get older. A lot of people are born with naturally slower metabolic rates. They just don't burn as many calories. And so they'll easily put on weight, even as teenagers. That is very common. You ever notice that a young person, say a preteen, might be kind of chubby, and then they stretch out, and as they grow, they go through a big growth spurt, and a lot of that baby fat, so to speak, goes into muscle and bone, and they become very slender for a time. This all has to do with the metabolic rate. There are a lot of chemical reactions going on in the body during that growth spurt that are drawing on the fat stores and using that energy to create lean tissue, bones, muscle, skin, organs, growth. All those areas of growth are drawing on that energy. But it's all those chemical reactions that are happening and the hormones that are being used that create those changes in the body. But see, we don't have to settle for only having that kind of dynamic happen when we're in a growth spurt, when we're in our teen years. We don't. We're not going to grow suddenly much taller when we're in our 30s or 40s, certainly. That's not going to happen. But what can happen is we can conduct ourselves in such a way and eat in such a way as to maximize the metabolic rate that our bodies are capable of in any given day. And that makes a huge difference in whether we're successful in weight loss, losing fat, keeping muscle on, or gaining muscle, gaining strength. All of those things are highly impacted by how we handle our metabolic rates and how we carry ourselves along during the day, what we do during the day, all of that seriously impacts whether we're successful at losing weight or unsuccessful, whether we're successful at maintaining an attractive, healthy physique or unsuccessful. So metabolism matters, and you have a lot of control over your metabolic rate. You have a lot of control. So we're going to talk more the next time about how you can control your metabolic rate. See you then.
TopFitPros.com